Hey everyone, today we're doing a snorkel and airbox install on this MP300, and it also includes the water relocation for your windscreen wipers. So today we're going to kick off with taping up the side of the car, doing our cutout on the side, then we'll go through to doing the cutout on the inside and installing the airbox and showing you how we reroute your wires and piping for your windscreen wipers. Our kit, you do not need to rewire anything. You keep all the stock wiring at the same lengths. So that's just a bit of convenience there. Let's get into it. All right, so we're starting off with the taping. When you do your installs, make sure you put a whole heap of tape on your bonnet, side guards, mirrors, up the side panel here, and a little bit on the roof. That's just so you don't get any unwanted scratches on your car. The only spot we're doing cutting is around here, but once you're doing some test fitting, you can have the tendency to slip, drop, and they'll just protect your car there. All right, now we've done the taping, we'll head over to one of the benches. We'll show you our templates and how to cut them out. We'll come back over here, line up the template, and get ready to start cutting. All right, these are our templates, very easy to follow through. We've got all the instructions on there, so please just read them as you're going through the video. We're going to start off by cutting out our outline, which is just on the outside of these edge marks. And then we'll go through to cutting out our 3 sections here. Make sure you're leaving this center piece here. That's so the shape doesn't deform while we're taping it on and you don't get a oddly shaped cutout. So you can do this with a razor blade or just a pair of scissors. If you've got a stainless steel bench, razor blades are easier, but if we're at home and the sake of this video, we're going to use scissors just to show you how easy it is to do. All right, so after you finish cutting out your template, bring it onto the car. We're lining our top line up with the top of your guard, not with your bonnet. So this line's lining up with your guard. Then the top line up here lines up with your guard again along the crack. And then this black line across here lines up with your guard side between your door jamb. So that's pretty simple. On this car, because of the cut snake flares, it's a little bit different. We actually have taken the cut snake flares into consideration. We've made this snorkel a little bit smaller, so we will be moving the template up. But all standard vehicles, you'll be just lining that template on and cutting that shape out there. All right, now that we've taken out the guard and the water reservoir, we're gonna get onto the cutting stage. So for me, I'll be using a drill and a mini cyber saw just to come through here and cut this nice and clean. If you're at home and you're doing this yourself, if you don't have the correct tools, you can use tin snips. It does take a lot longer, and you probably just cut out small sections at a time to make your life a little bit easier. But do make sure you get the inner guard and that water reservoir out to 1, so you're not cutting into the water reservoir, and 2, there's going to be a lot of shavings and that's going to drop out. All right, so now we've done our hole cutout. We've put on the pinch weld. Make sure when you are lining up your snorkel on this stage that you do have the pinch weld in, because if you don't, your holes that we're gonna drill won't line up once you put your pinch weld on. It'll be out a couple of mil. So for this stage on your snorkel, you've got the 4 riv nuts, and you'll be placing just 2 bolts in for this. Put your snorkel in and line up your bracket and your snorkel so it's touching the pillar. And then with a texter, you just need to mark the edges and the back. Then you can take your snorkel off, pull your bracket back off, and then that's where we get to this stage, is you just line up your bracket with those marks you put and just put 2 dots on the end. We're gonna first drill this top dot. Once we've drilled that, we'll sit a rivet in there. We'll line it up with the second dot, drill that, sit a rivet in it, and then we can mark the next 3 dots and drill them. The reason we don't go do all 5 at once is if you're slightly off, your bracket's not going to sit properly. So it's best to do one at a time, make sure it's got nice and straight, and then we'll go for the others. All right, so in your kit, you'll be supplied with your stainless steel rivets as part of the fitting fixtures. We use a size 5 drill bit for these. Make sure you use the ones that we give you so you don't get any rusting. So now we've got the bracket on here, we've got our 2 rivets in there, holding it in the correct spot. We can go ahead and just mark our other holes. If you feel confident, I always like to start mine like this, because you know the drill bit is going to be directly in the center. With your 5-bit drill bit, you're about 0.5 of a mil clearance in the actual hole itself. Now that we've done all the holes, just make sure that your rivets do fit all your holes correctly. You've done that right. We're going to remove the tape just around here, and we're going to rivet this in. You want to make sure you remove your tape in this small section before you do the rivets, because you're not getting it out properly later, and you don't want to be drilling them back out. We'll keep all this tape till we've done our test fit, and we're making sure that we're happy where it's lining up, and then we can go to remove all of this and put the snorkel on, and we'll start looking at how we're going to run the conduit from the airbox and to the snorkel. All right, so we've done our snorkel cutout and got our bracket on there now, and we're moving into doing the airbox. So airbox and water relocation, you do them at the same time. It's pretty straightforward and simple. The airbox just plugs into the standard factory holes, so there's no drilling, and they're only using the factory bolts as well to put it in. And we move the ECU to the back of the airbox on this as well. That just allows us to have room to drill through the side guard and be able to bring the piping through for the snorkel. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take out the airbox, which we've got a couple of plastic clips at the front. We're going to be taking off our airflow sensor, and just there's one band on this we're going to take off, and then the airbox we can pull out, and the new airbox pretty much just sits straight in there. It's really easy. All right, so we've taken the airbox out. We've moved the ECU. We've just taken it off its brackets that are bolted up here. We drill our 3-inch hole in the side, and our flexi hose comes through that. The protecting seal is also included in your kit. The ECU simply just uses the standard bolt positions into the back of our airbox. So that's a nice easy fit. And we're just, we've got the rods that go into the factory holes for there, and one bolt hole in here. And that's pretty straightforward and easy. All right, so we've just put the airbox in now and relocated the ECU. By yourself, you should be looking at about half an hour to 1 hour for this, if it's your first time doing it. But everything's real simple. Your airflow sensor stays in the exact same spot, using the same bolts that it comes with. Your ECU is now mounted on the back, nice and flush. It's just a real easy, you're just turning it to location. You're not rewiring or rerouting anything for that. So that's nice and simple, and you're just picking up the stop factory bracket in the front as well. And then your water relocation is just bolted into the back here. And that's it. All right, so install's all done. With the use of the flexi hose that we supply, it makes it a lot easier when you're coming through the guard. It's a real tight fit, but it all gets in there. 4.5, as far as I know, we're the only ones in Australia doing them. So they are a unique product to Canafab, and we think they really suit this car. Suits the lines amazingly. They're a bit bigger than the 4-inch, so it just helps fill out those flares as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video and check out our other products.